Okay, next is the end. Is that it? Done?
Excuse me there, okay, Bill.
Just one more thing. On Thursday, this coming Thursday, April 10th, Mr. Janus and I will be attending a PennDOT outreach meeting up at meet and greet up at the District 12 offices up on Route 519 up at 84. So I look forward to that also to get out there and put some faces to the names.
Well, I'd like to, since you brought that up, I'd like to suggest some areas of discussion that you should have with PennDOT. I was on Rising Road today, and I think that I picked out 8 or 9 spots that were in horrendous condition. If you're traveling from Route 50, it's right around Ray Zaney's farm, a little bit after, off the side. The road is collapsing. It's absolutely collapsing, and that's a state road. Also on Route 50, near the dairy bar, there's one spot that's just collapsing, and they put a cone there. On Rising Road, they didn't even bother with cones.
Cecil Henderson has a number of lateral support issues also, so I look forward to meeting with the people out of PennDOT.
In 980, right before the tunnel, has some problems tremendously too, Bill.
This may be Bill's
980.
last invitation to PennDOT.
Exactly. 980 before the tunnel has a tremendous. Okay, thank you, Bill. Okay, next is the engineer's report. Dan?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. You have a copy of my report. And just to recap the development projects under construction, there's really not much going on right now. There's a little bit of work going on at the reserve, but things should be starting up here soon. So there's an agenda item tonight for release of some money on the reserve. The Windsor Woods project, I worked with the solicitor. We put together a letter that we got back to the bonding company. The bonding company acknowledged receipt of that letter and told me they would have an answer to me in a few weeks. They weren't saying one way or another whether they would continue on the course that they were going, but I am positive that we'll get some response here very quickly. So as soon as that happens, we'll let the board know. Under the Coal Valley development, the traffic study is in for that project. So that's being reviewed by PennDOT, and the developer is paying for us to review that also as it relates to township roads. The Overlook Phase 1, or Phase 2 and Phase 3, just to bring the board up to date, I have had some discussions with the developer. They are planning to do the work over there on Anger Road. Speaking of roads in bad shape, they are planning to do that improvement over there this year. I expect that to kick up here in the springtime as we move forward. They're anxious to do that work.
Do you think it will be done this spring? I've had complaints.
I can't guarantee it's going to be done this spring. It'll be done this year. I think that's the right answer. In terms of the miscellaneous items, Coleman Road is on the agenda tonight. The Muse Storm Sewer project there, Dawn and I got those letters out to the residents affected by that storm sewer that's underneath their properties. I spoke to 2 of the 3 residents affected there, and I've given them information and just informed them, just gave them some more information on what the letter was intended.
How long ago was that letter sent?
That was sent a couple weeks ago. Yeah, they got it, and they've already called us.
John, can I have copies of those letters?
Sure.
Thank you.
The MS4 permit for the township, we've been doing a number of things related to that in terms of the outfall screen, getting the articles and things and so forth as part of the public education. We'll be preparing the annual report for that in the coming weeks to keep the township in compliance. And of course, the pavement maintenance project is on the agenda tonight. I think that's the highlights if there's any questions.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, what was the general response of the people from youth?
I think they didn't understand. One person understood what it was and felt confident that they were in good shape. The other person I spoke to today, the guy that owns the old company store, He would like the information, and I told him that we can meet with him and show him what the concerns are. He used Dick Barnes as a spokesperson first, and then he called me directly today. So we'll give him some information and just, trying to make them aware of what their issues are. My suggestions were that he get a contractor out to look at the condition, and if there's any repairs need to be made, get an estimate for that.
So this is something that the property owners have to do?
Well, it's not our system, it's the property owners, yes.
Okay, thank you, Jim. Any other questions? Okay, next we'll go to Parks and Recreation. Shirley? Oh, sorry, I skipped one, sorry, excuse me a second, Shirley. Okay.
Sorry. A lot of the issues thank you, Mr. Chair. A lot of the issues we've already talked about. The board has a copy of my report. I'll just touch on a couple here.